said earlier, it's all about Fela. With me, I have the famous artist and designer of Fela's album covers, Mr. Lemi Ghariokwu. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you.
So please tell us, how were you able to express Fela's philosophical and metaphoric ideas through your artwork?
I have a word to express our meeting.
Okay.
I call it predestination. I believe strongly in destiny. So there was a reason my, destiny and Fela's crossed at that point in time, because my first album cover was actually the album cover that signified, the music itself signified Fela's next move, and that's why we celebrate him today. It was the first time he directly faced the institution of governance by, attacking the police establishment via Alagbon Clues. That was the first album cover in 1974. So I did that. Before that, I had done a cover which Babatunde Harrison of Sunday Punch then had seen, and he took me, he asked me to do a portrait of Fela, and I took it to Fela, and when Fela saw it, it was a click. He said, "Wow, God damn it." That was the first time I heard those words. So the movement started from dance. My first cover was a hit cover. The music was hit normally, but my cover was the first cover that was, written about, previewed, then by Lindsay Ehone Barrett. And I became a star instantly with the first cover.
Okay.
So before I met Fela, really, I had been prepared, I could say metaphysically, for the purpose I played, for the role I played. Okay. I believe people like Fela came on a mission. Yeah. People like me in my own little level, also on the same mission. And the mission is mental liberation of the African man, the African human being, in diaspora and everywhere. Because Africa has been down under, been through this for over 500 years. We are the only race that has allowed ourselves to be vilified, and, stamped upon for too long. So warriors have to come. Warriors have to come on earth. And people like Fela are one of many. So I'm very privileged to be sitting here today. I feel a sense of fulfillment to witness this. Sometimes things happen, I look in the sky, I say, "Fela, where are you there? Can't see you. You go know your true friends now," So it's the beauty. I became very close. But prior, I had been conscious about the African. In 1966, I remember when Millicent Small had her huge hit in the UK, My Boy Lollipop, and Cadbury Nigeria brought her on a promotional tour. So I was a fan of Bomb Vita normally. So there was a promotion when you have the foil, 4 foils, you take it to a exact place, and Millicent Small will give you a branded umbrella, 1966. And the moment I got my branded umbrella, I met Millicent Small. I was so proud, because on radio, we had this rediffusion those days. I thought she was a white girl. So when I saw she was black, I was so fulfilled. I felt, wow. I never met Fela then. Forward to the 70s, I was a fanatic of the Jackson 5 because of the Afro, and I loved what they were doing. Then I became conscious of the Black Panther movement. I knew about Soldier George Jackson, Brother George Jackson, when he was killed in San Quentin prison. I bought Drum magazine, and I was looking at his picture sitting on the prison bench with his sweet Afro, and I did a drawing of him, almost perfect. I was in secondary school, and I loved that. And I cried when I read the story about how he was killed by a prison guard, claiming self-defense, whereas he was shot from the back. So I was conscious. And Destiny Calls, 1972, Fela with other members of NAPWA, Nigerian Association of Patriotic Writers and Artists, NAPWA, includes Rashid Badamosi, Naiwo Sahon, Wale Bokno and co. They used to have their meetings at Yaba College of Tech, where I attended secondary school. After the meeting, Fela will have a free show, and I'll be in the crowd watching. I never knew 2 years forward we're going to cross. But I loved his message. Those days he was singing Fight to Finish. Bishop, he's always been.
Yeah, that's Fela. So things like that, how were you able to express them in your work?
Role and mission. We all have missions on that. That's why I advise anyone, find out who you are, find out your role. No role is less or more important. I was prepared. I didn't study art formally. I'm self-taught fully, and I'm very proud to showcase that. So I had always practiced, and my thoughts always talked about my people. So by the time I met Fela and, I imbibed, he started teaching me and my other friends, we were acolytes. He was our master. You know, it was easy for me to catch. We were reading books about Kwame Nkrumah. A lot of Africans don't know Kwame Nkrumah has books, over 20 titles. Titles like Africa Must Unite, titles like Challenge of the Congo, Axioms of Kwame Nkrumah. We read all those in the 70s. Then there was this, our Bible, Black Man of the Nile and His Family by Yusuf Ben Jokanan. We even made Fela put it in a song. Don't worry about my mouth, so that people can know about that book and read. Because a lot of conscious African history, the history that we are not taught in schools, that are still not taught in schools today, that is making the African race so backward, because mentally we feel so inferior. And that's why our women bleach their skins. Our women, 99% of them have to straighten their hair. Yet they call God every minute in churches. Yet God has created you natural, but you're not happy because a fellow human being has messed up your mind for you to feel inferior.
I know there's so much to learn about Fela, apart from his music, his teachings. I know there's so much.
So you see the consciousness I have. So it was always fait accompli to design Fela's cover, illustrate the lyrics. I was so privileged because me and my friends were so close. So a lot of times I knew the reason why this song is composed. I knew the message beforehand. So by the time he finishes, and because I was so imbibed in the ideology of Pan-Africanism and that concept, I just would illustrate from my own perspective. So my art eventually became a supplement to the music. So in the beginning, there was the music, but it needed an accompaniment. You know, it needed packaging to brand it properly, and my art came to play the role. So I stand proud. I stand proud today, and I give kudos to Fela any minute because he gave me the greatest opportunity any fellow human being can give you on art.
Speaking of the influence, your relationship
and the freedom to express. I even put my pictures at the back of the sleeve. There's no artist in this whole wide world that has ever done that. You put your own photograph as a designer at the back, then create a column, designer's comment, because my lyrics and my illustration did not literally illustrate Fela's lyrics. It added value to it. It illustrated from a broader perspective, adding that it became a double package.
Enjoy.
Wow, and I'm happy all over the world today they talk about the music, and to a little level they talk about the art. So which is good. Which is good. And it's from Africa, made in Africa, 110%.
Yes, that's our
pure, clean.
Thank you so much for coming on the program. So glad to have you.
Thank you.
Hope to have you some other time. Stay tuned.